Cool. Welcome to another episode of the animjam podcast. Today, we are actually going to talk about a hot topic that happened in the past week, which was pretty surprising to all animators and all the artists in the CG industry.
Yeah, huge surprise.
Yeah, Blue Sky Studios has been closed. That is
Yeah,
that is crazy because that's one of the big studios, and if not the biggest studio in the East Coast in the U.S. And
yeah.
they've been
They
created.
were
Yeah,
like the go-to guys. It was like, damn,
exactly. The
there's
go-to
only like
guys.
three studios that you want to go to,
Yeah,
and they
like the
were one
go-to
of them.
guys for creature feature animation. Um, yeah, they had a lot of good like features, like feature films, and it's sad to see one of these big studios go. But basically, just like a brief synopsis, is that Disney shut down the studio, and there's no apparent reason that's been released. But all we
Yeah.
know is
Well, they
that there's
said it
a
was monetary, right? It was something like
yeah,
the
but no
landscape.
specifics. Yeah.
Yeah, no
Uh,
specifics, but
Yeah, but we can dive into that later. But essentially, like around 450 employees are going to be released by April. I think the beginning of April. So that's a lot
also
of
it
people
wasn't an
without
immediate
jobs.
shutdown.
No, they
Right.
just announced it, but which is
Yeah,
good. It gives people
that
time
is
to,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
time to
it's not
find
like a
jobs.
lot of other studios shutting down where it's just like, hey,
Yeah.
pack your stuff.
Well,
You
that was
come back from
NPC.
lunch and it's like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, NBC was like, you come back from lunch and you couldn't even go back into your desk. I
Yeah,
heard
that's
stories
crazy.
because I had friends who worked there and they're like, yeah, I came back from lunch,
Yeah.
um, and that's it. Like, I couldn't even go back in. Like,
Yeah, they had stuff there, like their
yeah,
own property, and
they had
apparently
to
they
get
weren't.
permission to go back in to get their stuff.
That's crazy. But yeah, that like I'm glad they at least like gave some notice. But it's really sad because I think they're in the middle of production for one of their movies. It's called
Yeah,
Nimona.
so I heard. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I did a quick Google
yeah,
because everyone seems to be talking about that. It looks cool, like stylistically. It's very
yeah,
different from what they were used to doing. So
yeah, yeah.
it's sad that they didn't. Maybe that could have been
Hmm.
a new look. You know how every
Yeah,
now and then somebody comes up with a new look, and it's like,
yeah, yeah,
whoa, yes,
yeah.
like it's like gold because everyone's so sick of seeing the same look.
Yeah.
It's
The
like
sick of
you
the
watch every
Disney look.
Disney movie, and it's yeah, it's like
Yeah,
yeah, it just looks like Disney.
yeah,
Um,
but
and Blue
yeah.
Sky, like I don't know, like they kind of I don't think they really had a look, really, unless it's you talking about
Well,
Horton. Like
they,
the Dr. Seuss stuff kind of did, but
yeah.
like the Ice Age stuff, I don't know
I,
if they're really.
I guess it's
I don't
kind
know.
of. I think they had a look. I think Rio and I just realized
You
that
think
was the
so?
same as
But
one
I don't know. It
casting.
always feels it feels so
Yeah,
close to the yeah,
yeah,
it feels so close to the I don't know the DreamWorks look that
yeah.
sometimes they're like interchangeable. It's like, is
True.
it DreamWorks? Is it Blue
Yeah,
Sky? You know?
yeah. It does have a DreamWorks look actually. Now that you said that, I wanted to watch Spies in Disguise, which I haven't. I haven't yet.
Yeah,
It feels like it didn't really get that much advertising, or there's not much like hype about
yeah.
it.
I think that
Um,
one made the least money actually of their films of late.
yeah, but to
So
me that seemed
that's
pretty cool. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna watch that
I mean,
actually.
maybe that's part of the reason is like Spies in Disguise didn't do so well. So
Hmm.
since Disney acquired them, it's like, well, but then you think about it, it's kind of it makes sense in Disney's perspective as as a business
Hmm.
because you already have two animation studios,
Yeah,
so you can only slot so many films in the year, especially nowadays with like bloody COVID
yeah,
and everything. So
yeah.
you can only slot so many movies in a year, and
Hmm.
if you have another studio, you're just competing against your own films at that point because you still
Yeah,
have to compete against like, oh, we got to compete against like DreamWorks, we got to compete against like Illumination and
yeah,
what
exactly.
there's some and Sony. There's like places you still got to compete with.
Well, I mean, yeah, you might like it's almost like, oh, why do we need another animated feature studio? We already have
Yeah,
studios that
we
do
got two.
that.
Yeah, we got two which are
Yeah,
like the best in the
yeah,
world. So
yeah,
it's like,
Yeah, so I guess in terms of that, like you saw, like I guess you can see it coming because there's no way they'll close Disney down, like this
Yeah,
animation studio. Um,
yeah.
but it's
And
just
they're
yeah.
keeping the IP, is what they said. They're retaining the IP still, so they're not letting that go.
Hmm.
So, I mean, there might be something where they try to take the IP and then roll it into the Disney studio somehow, and then
Hmm.
maybe they'll like reboot something if they find it's worthwhile. Maybe they'll be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, let's do like Ice Age
Oh God,
something, and then
no.
we'll just use the Disney people
Yeah,
to do that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
know.
God,
Please don't.
I say just so like after the first one, I was just like, I'm
They
over
took
it.
it too far though. I think it's like they
Hmm.
stretched it too far.
Yeah,
I
way
think
too
Ice
far.
Age 1, 2, 3, and then there was the fourth one, right? Am I mistaken?
I think so. I stopped giving a fuck. Like about Ice Age 1 was amazing. And I'm pretty sure 2 was good too. But it's just like
Yeah, I
after a
think three
while, it's
was
just the
good too. I don't.
sequel. You know, it's this
Yeah,
it's the
it
power of
is.
the sequel where it's just you
They're
just
just doing it
automatically
for
don't like
money.
it anymore. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You know, there's no love in it no more. I
Yeah,
mean, there
exactly.
probably is. I don't want to like crap on somebody's hard work, but it's like, the intent behind it is no longer
Yeah.
like love. It's like, hey, money.
Let's make some money. Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
Hotel Transylvania, I
yeah,
know they're making, I think it's the fourth one right now. And I think, I people who are on it, of course, they're like, they dedicate their craft to it. And I know
yeah,
they
yeah,
dedicate their work to the craft, sorry, is what I meant. But, that the studio probably doesn't care as much and they probably like a bit more relaxed, like just make a decent film and roll in the merch and the money and that's it, you know.
yeah,
Um, but it is what it is, right? But still, that
yeah.
doesn't take away from the fact that Blue Sky made some like awesome,
Blue Sky made some good
awesome
films.
movies. Yeah,
Yeah,
um, and there's some
like
like,
I
sorry, go ahead.
wait, I have a list of films up here.
Hmm.
Yeah, let me go through them actually. So they did Ice Age,
Yeah.
Robots, Ice Age, The Meltdown, Dr.
Hmm.
Seuss, Horton Hears a Who,
Hmm.
Ice Age Dawn of Dinosaurs. They did Rio, the Ice Age Continental Drift. They did Epic, which I don't think I've seen
Epic.
actually. Oh, I
I
have
feel like
seen
I've seen
that.
that.
That's the
Yeah,
one with the fairies and stuff, right? I
I
think.
think so. Yeah,
They did Rio 2, the Peanuts movie, Ice
yeah,
Age Collision Course. So they had 5 Ice Ages.
yeah. That's
Ferdinand
crazy.
and Spies in Disguise.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Spies in Disguise only grossed 171 million, and all their other films grossed over 200. So
wow.
I think that is like a big
A
reason
sign.
why I think it's
Yeah,
like it didn't do so well.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
surprised that movie didn't do well. To me, I feel like the premise was okay. Maybe Tom Holland changing into a bird was kind of weird. I mean, Will Smith changing into a bird was kind of weird. But I mean, Will Smith was on it. Tom Holland was on it. Like, that's pretty
they
like
had the
pretty
actors,
big
yeah,
names. Yeah.
but
Um,
it's this. It's like if you're a kid, like you don't know who these people are. You don't care.
Tom
I mean, I don't
Holland,
think.
like that's
Well,
pretty
maybe
big name
kids,
for
yeah.
the kids. Yeah.
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 But like if you're like a kid, like I don't know, if you're
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 or something, maybe you really just don't care who Tom Holland is. You're just
That's
like,
true.
I just want to go
That's
see
true.
like characters. You're
Yeah.
like you're more about Spider-Man than you are about Tom Holland. But
That's true. Yeah, that is really true.
um yeah, maybe they're trying to get some parents to go, but yeah, I
Hmm.
don't know whatever happened to that film. Could be
Hmm.
just marketing, but yeah, it didn't do so well.
Let's talk about like I guess the aftermath of this, right? I mean,
Yeah.
me personally, I feel like recently, like I've been seeing a lot on LinkedIn, like all these Blue Sky animators just putting their reels on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Of course, because they need to find a new job, right? But I was watching some of them, and they were like the quality is so good, and I won't be surprised if like studios like mine or like Sony or
Yeah.
whatever. Right now, they're probably like trying to poach these guys like crazy. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been seeing on LinkedIn all the recruiters. I saw one from Animal saying like, "Hey, like
oh yeah, yeah, I think I saw that one.
like they just resharing the articles like about Blue Sky
Mhm.
closing down, but then like there's like this undercurrent of like, You guys can come work for us, kind of
Yeah.
thing, in
Yeah.
their captions. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I see what you
Yeah.
guys doing. It's not
Yeah.
even subtle. It's not even an undercurrent. It's like,
Yeah. Straight
it's
up,
pretty much
like
like,
come
hey,
across. Yeah.
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 It's like, hey, there's opportunities here, and it's a really good studio, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
everybody's trying to sell now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's kind of what happened when NPC went down. There was a lot of
yeah.
open doors for them.
I mean, that's nice. Like, that's nice of studios to do that. I mean, of
Yeah,
course, it's for their benefit as well, but
yeah,
at least, like, these people like might have jobs, like, or will have jobs. It's just a matter of where they want to go. I know
yeah,
that
yeah.
even for our project, that like when we saw this news, I think everybody was talking to each other and saying like, maybe we should get some on, like, to help us finish the film. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
you know,
It's not a bad idea. I'm sure people know, like, yeah, I'm sure there's tons of people that know people that
mhm.
got let go. I don't know anyone personally, but it's such a small industry. Guaranteed that someone that knows someone that got, like,
Yeah.
that got let go. So we'll have to, yeah,
I
have
mean,
to
yeah,
ask around. I want to see. I want to get like more first hand, second hand stories.
yeah. I mean, career wise, I think I mean, they'll be fine because they're from Blue Sky. They're good
Yeah,
quality
they'll
stuff.
find
All of them, I'm
find.
sure, are good animators or artists, right? I think it's more like the families,
Yeah, it's just the moving.
they
It
get
is kind
told
of
like a
sad.
week before, like, I mean, a month before. Like, that's not enough to relocate your whole family. Like, imagine like
Yeah,
your wife has
yeah, for
like,
sure.
imagine your wife has a job in like Connecticut or New York. You can't
Yeah,
just
if you
like,
got kids in school, you don't want to just
yeah,
they got friends. You don't
yeah,
want to just uproot their entire lives. And then like
yeah.
some of these people been I mean, Blue Sky's been around for a long time. Like
Hmm.
if I'm looking at the wiki page, they've been around since the 80s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
For me, it always felt like a relatively new studio, but like the studio itself's been around, like it was created in the 80s.
Wow, that's a long
So
time.
I think it might have been like acquired by Fox and like all this and
Hmm.
that, like over time. So it's
Yeah,
probably like changed,
throughout.
it changed a
Yeah,
bit, yeah, throughout the
yeah,
history. But there might still be people who've been around since the early days, like the early
yeah,
2000s and stuff.
yeah. That's
So they
crazy.
would have, yeah, they might have kids in like high school. It's like you can't just pull your kid out of high school and then move to
Yeah.
another country. They might have a
Well,
few kids too. It's not just one kid. So
yeah, that's really tough. That's
yeah.
like pulling. I mean, I can say that firsthand because I was thrown out of high school to another high school. So don't do it, parents.
It's
Try
hard.
not to. But yeah,
You got first-hand experience.
yeah,
It's like bringing up all these wounds in you.
yeah. I'm just like, man, now I feel even more emotional about this blue sky thing. But yeah,
But
I mean,
there's the silver lining. Well, not silver lining. Like the consolation
mhm,
is that now the studios are a lot more willing to take remote work. So a lot of
yeah,
places are like, you can work for us. Come work for us. We'll set you up with like, VPN and like some sort of desktop client that you can log into your workstation and work.
yeah,
So I guess that's a big consolation because we've been
yeah,
hiring from everywhere.
yeah.
Like we've been hiring from all over. So
I mean, I guess that, I mean, I don't know the whole, like, this would be another topic entirely, but about the whole tax situations for companies and stuff like
yeah,
that. But
that is a
yeah,
big loophole. I think
um,
there's some sort of maybe like the government is just like they don't care. I don't
right
know. At
now,
this point, they're just
yeah,
like, you know what, we don't care. Like as
yeah,
long as you're a healthy company, you're good for the economy. Like do your thing.
yeah, yeah,
But I think come time that it's like things are back to normal, there might be
yeah.
like more regulation and I don't know.
Yeah. I think right now, like for them, they're probably like, everybody just survive. It's okay. We don't like
Yeah, exactly. They're just
screw
turning their
taxes right
cheeks.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah, yeah. They're probably
yeah.
like, no. They're like, pay your taxes,
Yeah, yeah.
but just make
Yeah.
sure you're paying on
Yeah,
time
yeah. Yeah,
so we
yeah,
can
yeah.
keep
Yeah.
things going.
Yeah,
But as
exactly.
long as you don't go under, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, there's just so many businesses closing that it's like I think the last thing the government wants to do is put more pressure on businesses to
Yeah.
stay afloat. So I don't know. There's a lot of factors probably involved
Mhm.
in this whole situation, but
Yeah,
the consolation is like, yeah, studios are hiring
yeah,
internationally, so
exactly. So
it's a
hopefully,
lot
like they can
easier to get
still,
work.
yeah, hopefully they can still
Yeah,
stay in like New York or Connecticut whilst
yeah,
working for the meantime.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
It buys them time at least, so you're not
yeah,
out of a job. So maybe they get like a year buffer to figure out
yeah,
what their next move is.
yeah,
You know, if they can get hired by one of these
yeah.
studios.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's sad, and as a lifelong, I guess, Animal Logic person, I would say go to Animal Logic. Like, yeah.
I
Help us
know,
finish
it
the
just
films.
ask.
Yeah. And
If there was a VFX studio, I'd be saying that, but I can't.
yeah,
Can't really.
and say my name, then I can get a free gift voucher. But
Oh
nah,
yeah,
see,
you get you
you
get
get recruitment
incentives.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, honestly, I don't care about that. Don't say my name. I'd rather not. But
Everyone
yeah,
apply now. Say his name. All these
yeah,
kids, like these juniors who aren't even part of Blue Sky, are just
yeah.
applying, saying your name.
Well, hey, then I get free coupons, so why not? Like gift vouchers.
Yeah.
That's great. But yeah, I think like I mean, it's always nice to work with people of that caliber. So, if if I get to work with
Yeah.
those kind of people, why not? Get to learn
I
from them.
realized like whenever you get like really experienced people from another studio,
Hmm.
like they bring like a lot of perspective
Hmm.
from like their studio, and
Yeah.
it's always like they have this good idea. It's like, oh man, we do this and like XYZ studio,
Hmm.
and it like totally changed the game. And
Yeah.
then you guys are like, oh damn, like that's so obvious. Like why didn't we
Yeah.
think of that? Like we should
Yeah.
implement something like that. Even though like technically you shouldn't be talking about like the technology that the studio uses, because
But
it's
everybody
like,
does.
yeah, it's part of your contract and all
Yeah.
this and that. Like when you leave, you
Yeah.
can't talk about like what's going on. But
Yeah.
everyone does it.
Yeah.
uh it's just unavoidable. It's like, how do you stop it is the
Yeah.
real
Well, because
question.
there's always better ways to do things. And I think when you're in a studio for like a studio is like an incubation chamber, right? When you've been there for a long time and a
Yeah,
studio's been working a sort of way for a long time, they don't know, like logically, they know they should change certain things, but they just don't. It just doesn't
yeah,
make any
yeah,
rational sense. And sometimes you need someone from the outside to come in and go like, "Hey, this is how we do things. This is a better way of doing things."
yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, and yeah,
exactly.
that's very valuable. Like to get that's why like people are like all these recruiters are trying to get these guys to come over.
Yeah, 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 so they can bring that additional perspective, because I'm sure
Exactly.
there would have been like some really cool like
Hmm.
software and technology and stuff that Blue Sky had that
Hmm.
it's just like, man, or just like workflow. It's just,
Yeah,
man, this
yeah,
just works so much better. It's like, oh, we did dailies every 3 days or something,
yeah,
instead
yeah,
of every day, or we did
yeah,
dailies like every half hour or whatever. I don't know, whatever it may be, but
yeah,
they could bring a lot of, yeah, just perspective. Maybe
yeah,
it's not a case of like, oh, we can implement this tomorrow, but it's like, hey, maybe we should do a little bit of this
yeah,
somewhere
for
down the
sure.
line.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess like yeah, it's just we wanted to, I guess, talk about this like little hot news today, and
Yeah.
just yeah, I feel bad for these guys. That's all I can really say, and hopefully they'll find like a new job soon, which I'm sure they will. I guess that's it for this episode.
Yeah. Peace.
All right, peace. Thanks for watching or listening to our content. If you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks again. Peace.